All right, we're getting big breaking news from Thailand. The first 6 members of a Thai soccer team have been rescued from the flooded cave after 2 weeks. 12 young boys of the soccer team and their coach had been trapped for more than 2 weeks in a cave complex in the Chiang Rai province. Authorities in northern Chiang Rai province began the dangerous mission to bring out the 12 boys and their coach earlier today. Chief of Chiang Rai's health department and part of the rescue team said, and I quote, 4 kids are out. They're currently at the field hospital near the cave. The rescued boys are being given a physical examination. So that's the latest we are getting from Thailand. For over 2 weeks now, this team along with their coach was stuck at that cave, in that cave. And the situation was worsened because of the rain. That was the biggest challenge for the rescue teams. And now these kids, and the latest information that we are getting is that 6 boys have been rescued from that cave. A swim and dive strategy was adopted by the rescue teams. Each boy is accompanied by 2 divers, and they are being brought out one by one. That's the latest that we are getting in. Big breakthrough after 2 tense weeks. The entire world was waiting with a bated breath. Tense moments there, emotionally and physically draining operation. 13 international divers are a part of this massive operation. 5 Thai SEALs are a part of this operation. India also offered to help Thailand in this particular mission. One diver lost his life while he was supplying oxygen and was on his way out of the cave. So these 2 weeks have been grueling for the parents, for the divers, for the rescue teams. For more on this breaking news, I'm joined by my colleague Molly Gambhir. Molly, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. What's the latest?
Well, Archana, this has been a day of huge breakthroughs when it comes to those joint efforts that have been made by teams who have been working against time, battling harsh weather conditions over the last few days. Remember, for 2 weeks now, 13 members of the Thai football team, 12 players and 1 coach have been trapped inside the Tham Luang cave in northern Thailand's Chiang Rai province. These are the team members who are now being rescued one by one as per the latest information that has trickled in. Remember, very scanty is known right now. We are relying on updates that are coming in from the spot, but at the same time, media personnel have been asked to stay away from the cave entrance. So as per the limited information that is trickling in with each passing minute, 6 of those boys have been rescued successfully. Now they are going to be airlifted to the Chiang Rai city where the nearest hospital is, but there is also a field hospital that was created just at a short distance away from the cave for immediate health checkups that are being conducted for all of those 6 boys who have been rescued successfully. Remember, over the next few hours, the health parameters, the health status of these boys is going to be the utmost priority for these personnel who have successfully rescued them. This has been an extremely harrowing few weeks for the 2 boys and for, of course, all those who have been involved in this difficult mission. Weather conditions have been the most challenging for the last few days. Today is when early in the morning it was taken, a decision was taken to ensure that the boys will actually be rescued today. They did not know how to swim or dive, so that was one of the first battles that had to be won by the rescue teams to ensure that they are first taught how to swim and dive, and which is why they waited for this while to actually try and rescue the boys and the coach. 6 of those boys are now who have been rescued will now be undergoing a physical examination to ensure that their health condition is up to the mark for them to be airlifted then to the Chiang Rai city, which is about 50 miles away. There have been ambulances and divers, a team waiting for each of those players, 1 ambulance and a team of a team of paramedics waiting, standing by right outside the cave entrance to take the rescued football team members to safety.
Right, Molly, please stay on with us. I'm also joined by Jacob Goldberg, who's a freelance reporter and is joining us from Thailand. Thank you so much, Mr. Jacob, for speaking to WION. What's the latest? There are, the details are scanty as of now. There are 2 conflicting versions. One is that these kids who've been rescued are at a base camp in a chamber in the cave, and the other reports are suggesting that they are being taken to the hospital. Could you please clear the picture for us?
As you might expect, even the journalists here are short on information, but what has been confirmed to me is that at least 4 ambulances have left the cave rescue site, presumably to go to a helicopter and be taken to the Chiang Rai hospital. As to whether the other children have exited the cave or whether they're at a base camp in the middle of the cave, I just don't know yet.
Okay, have you been able to speak to the rescue team officials? Where are the parents of these children? Because if reports are to be believed, then these parents will not be able to meet these kids for at least 24 hours because they will be under medical supervision. So any details from that front?
From what I've heard from the mental health team consulting on this operation, at least one parent will be in the ambulance with every child as they're taken out. I don't know if that's the case, if that's the plan that actually was executed, but that's the plan they had at least as of a few days ago. I don't know where the parents are now. They're probably in a private place. I'm sure they'll need some time to meet their children again after so long. Yeah, that's the latest.
Right. Jacob, as far as the strategy is concerned, remember a lot of challenges were there for the rescue team. The inclement weather, it was being said that it was a race against water because it's monsoon time there. Today was one of the better days, and which is why the authorities, the rescue teams thought that it would be a better day to conduct this rescue operation. What is the situation on that front? Because if these people are to be believed, then they adopted a strategy. There was a swim and dive strategy. There were plans of creating a shaft within the cave and pump the water out. So at this moment, do we know about the rescue plan? What was the kind of strategy that was followed by these members of the rescue team?
What's been told to us by the rescue chief since the beginning is that the main plan has always been to train the boys to dive so that they could dive through the parts where it's necessary. It's not all of the cave, but it's certain parts of the cave. They would walk throughout the rest of the cave where it's possible, and they would get out that way. It's been commented online that there was it's been proposed to have a shaft inserted, or I don't know if that's ever been seriously considered by anyone in charge of this operation. There were contingency plans about drilling holes in the top of the cave or searching for natural entryways into other parts of the cave aside from the main entryway. It was decided this weekend that the main plan, to have the children dive out, would be the plan that's pursued.
Right. Jacob, you're there at ground zero. What is the sense on ground? I'm sure it's a place, brimming with tension, and, the rescue teams are doing a wonderful job there. But what is the sense on ground? Could you please try unfolding at this moment outside the cave?
Well, if I could, I'll just share an anecdote with you. A few moments ago, a helicopter flew over the press center, and all of the journalists and the volunteers burst into applause. There's great hope for all of the boys to get out, but there's also a lot of anxiety. We all want to make sure that we write our stories correctly. We all want to make sure we report things at the right time. And there's still a lot of information that needs to come out before we are fully relieved.
Right. Jacob, one last question before I let you go. It's being said that the nearest hospital is about 100 kilometers from this spot. So how are the authorities planning to ensure that these kids who've been rescued are taken to the hospital in time? Remember, I was reading somewhere that they are being assessed on priority. The weakest kid will be sent first. So how is that arrangement taking shape?
What the chief of the rescue mission said this morning was that the strongest would actually go first. He didn't explain that decision, but that's what he said. And the reason the rescue was executed today was because the team was confident that the children had the diving ability and the strength to make it out. So presumably they're only being taken out today because we're confident that they're able to. And from there, as to how they're getting to the hospital and medically assessed, I don't have the details for you.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Jacob Goldberg, for getting us those minute-by-minute details from the Thailand cave, where a massive rescue operation is underway. 6 boys have been rescued. Remember, 12 boys of a football team, along with their coach, were stranded, stuck in that cave for over 2 weeks. It was flooded. That cave was flooded, and these people had gone inside the cave, and they were 4 kilometers away from the entrance, from the mouth of the cave, and from there they are being rescued. The caves are flooded with water. The rescue teams are diving and swimming and getting these kids outside of that cave. Each kid is accompanied by 2 divers, and that strategy, we will get to know of more details once this entire operation is over. We still don't know yet the duration because it is underway. We will get more details about this in the coming time.